Hello friends, welcome to Ultimate Education Center study videos. If you have not so far subscribed it, please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon so that you can get our all notification of newly added videos. Today we are with the explanation of 11th class Biology Chapter 1, The Living World, Part 1. I am Farooqsir here, so let us begin it. Now in this chapter, as the chapter name is The Living World, so let us see that what does the living mean? How we can say that a thing or an organism is living or not. So living organisms have some distinctive characters like growth, reproduction, ability to sense environment and mount. These are the suitable unique features, we can say unique features of living organism. Besides this, another more features like metabolism, ability to self-replicate and self-organize are also taken as the characters of living things. Now let us discuss first the growth. All living organisms grow. They grow in size, they grow in numbers, they grow in mass, right? So the growth, we can say the increase in mass and increase in number of individuals are main twin characters of growth. A multicellular organisms grows by cell division. Multicellular organisms, all the living organisms are multicellular organisms because so many cells and tissues are present in the living organism. That's why they are called multicellular organism. In the plants are also multicellular organism. In plants, this growth by cell division occurs continuously throughout their lifespan. But in animals, the growth is seen only up to a certain age. What is that? Up to certain age means what? If we see, for example, suppose a child is born, right? Then the child goes on growing. He grows 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and he develops the body also, and he increases in mass. Clear? The weight is also increased. Right, the height is increased, everything we see, so it increases, but up to a certain age. After that age, what happens? The growth of the cells stops, and that leads to the death of the human being. So increase in body mass is also considered as growth, but here we can have an argument, suppose that non-living objects also grow. If we take the example, suppose like mountains, boulders, the sand mounds, they also grow, right? How they grow? They grow outwardly. They grow outwardly because something is added. The sand mound, something is added from exterior, from outside. That's why it increases, but it does not increase from inside. That is why this kind of growth exhibited by non-living objects is by the accumulation of material on the surface of it. Clear? The mountains, the sand mounds, from outside the material get accumulated on it, and it grows higher and higher. But the living organism, the growth of the living organism is from the inside of the body. Inside of the body due to the cell division. Clear? I hope this may be clear to you. Another more important thing to note down is a dead organism never and never and never grow. Another main character of the living being is reproduction. The second character, reproduction. Reproduction means what? the multicellular organism reproduction refers to the production of progeny, that is baby, resulting in features more or less similar to those of parents. Means what? I give you example, right? The human reproduce themselves in the form of baby, newly baby, right? Then the monkey reproduce monkey, rabbit reproduce rabbit. Never it has been seen and never it will be seen that a monkey reproduce human being or rabbit reproduce monkey. No, it's not like that. Human always reproduce its replica in the form of newly born babies. So now this reproduction, no doubt, there are two means of reproduction. One is sexual reproduction, another one is asexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction is mainly carried out by the animals, right? And asexual reproduction is mainly carried out in some of the plants. Like fungi multiply and spread by the millions of asexual spores which they produce. In lower organisms like yeast and hydra, also it is asexual reproduction by budding. In planaria, flatworms, it is true regeneration. True regeneration, that is a fragment of the organism, if somewhere is left, then it will generate a new organism from that small fragment. The fungi, the filamentous algae, the protonema of mosses, all easily multiply by fragmentation, right? Now, unicellular organisms like bacteria, unicellular algae or amoeba reproduce synonymously with growth, that is increase in number of cells. Now, the another characteristic of living being is metabolism. So what is the metabolism? This is also very important factors or characteristic. What is the metabolism? The metabolism, we can say that all the chemical reaction which take place inside our body is called metabolism. Now what is that? The chemical reactions means what? See, all the animals, right? And in plants also, I will give you the example of plants also. In animals, what happen? They intake food, right? We also intake food. So what happens after intaking the foods? What happens to the food? Then we had seen in a preliminary stage, we had seen the digestive system. In 9th and 10th standard, you might have studied it. So in that what happens? The food breaks down in the stomach after undergoing several chemical reactions, right? Many chemical reactions take place and the food is break down. From that food, some, say, we can say some vitamins, proteins, etc. are extracted, right? And they are mixed in the blood. So that is a chemical reaction. Another thing, all the animals, they do respire. So we also respire. So in respiration, what happens? We intake oxygen and we exhaust the carbon dioxide. That is also a chemical reaction. And that oxygen which we intake, it mixes with the blood, with the food, right? It helps in breaking down the food also. So that is a type of chemical reaction, right? So that is a metabolism. So we say that metabolism is chemical reactions or metabolic reactions, right? There are thousands of chemical reactions or metabolic reactions going on inside the body of the living organism. whether it is unicellular or multicellular. Likewise, in plants also, they also respire, they transpire also. Transpiration we had seen in 9th and 10th standard, right? So all those things, right, they are metabolic reactions. They intake oxygen through stomata, right? They inhale, the plants also inhale, they make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. That photosynthesis also is a type of metabolic reactions, right? So that metabolism is main characteristic of a living organism. The plants, the animals, fungi and microbes also exhibit metabolism, but non-living objects never exhibit metabolism. See, like a chair, table, pan, do they respire? No. Do they intake food? No. Nothing. Do they photosynthesize? No. That's why non-living objects never exhibit metabolism. Hence, we can say that the cellular organization of the body is the defining feature of living life forms. Now, the another characteristic of the living organism is ability to sense environment. What does it mean? See, when suppose as you are sitting over here, all of a sudden, if anything comes just towards you, so you will feel that it may harm you. So what will happen? Your eyelid will be closed for a while. That thing is coming to your face. Why it happens? Because it is the sense or sensing that thing may cause some damage to us, right? Another thing, suppose if a burner is burning, right, and if you take your fingers near the burner, what will happen? Will you put the finger in the burner? No, because you sense that putting the finger in the burner will burn my finger. So that is the thing. Another thing, suppose if I pinch one of the pin in your finger, then you will sense that it is pinching in my finger. That is the sensing physically. Other thing, see, during the winter season, what happened? That if there is severe cold outside, so we feel coldness inside the home also. If we are wearing the clothes, it doesn't matter, but we feel the coldness. So what we will do? We will go for some warm clothes to protect ourselves from the cold wave. Is it clear? Another thing, so that is called environmental stimuli, right? That is called the response to the environmental stimuli. And all these sense and environmental stimuli we feel through our sense organs. See, the fragrance of the spray, fragrance of some agarbattis, etc. If it is light up, then what? We sense it. Clear? We sense it. Achha. Suppose if very huge, we can say huge sound, very high sound is coming from somewhere, like the cracking of the fire, right? So we feel it through our ear. That is called the ability to sense. Now the plant also responded, because the plants are also living. So plant, how they respond? They respond to the light, water, temperature, etc. Why? How it is? Say light. The roots of the plant, it always goes under the soil. It never comes up. Why it is so? Because that is due to the stimuli, right? Light stimuli. And another thing, the stem, the branch, the leaves, they always go up. That is opposite direction of the earth, right? Towards the light. So that is one type of stimuli, right? Temperature also. Suppose if more temperature is there, then what happens? We see the plant wilt, right? Murja jate hain, wilt. So that is the temperature factor. It is acting on the plant. In this way, all organisms from prokaryotes to the most complex eukaryotes. Prokaryotes are all the microorganisms like protozoa, etc. They also respond because they are living organisms. So they sense and respond to the environmental cues. Therefore, the consciousness is also the defining property of living organism. Thank you friends for watching Ultimate Education Center video. We will be soon back with the another part, that is second part of the living organism. Till then, have a nice time.